This is an old instrument circuit board, basically a motherboard. Can't really say what it's from. It, that's kind of an interesting looking chip there. Looks like an AMD device if I recognize that logo. Bunch of connectors, some fuses it looks like. Flash EEPROM, so that's like a BIOS type thing. These look like, from the feel of it, they look like UV proms, which is a UV erasable electronic read-only programmable memory module. Usually, if I can get the label off, you might see. I like UV proms even though I've never used them for anything. I think they're kind of cool to look at. I'll show you why if I can get this silly label off of here. Alright, that's being a little stubborn. Time to give it a little persuasion. Got some guns on my pliers. It's not really the best pliers for that. Here we go. That's why I like UV proms. I can, right there. That little square in the middle, that is the die of the IC. Everything else here is all casing. And you can see all the little hair thin wires going to it. That is just cool to look at to me. You can see it looks like two separate little pads there. I don't know if it's like a 2-core thing or what exactly that is, but I just love looking at those things like that. And I'm not totally sure what this thing is. I'm guessing it's, to me, from the resistor there, or capacitor, it says R1, so probably resistor. U is some kind of semiconductor. I'm guessing that's a voltage regulator, because that's like a setting parameter resistor. I'm not sure what this thing is. It's kind of weird looking. It looks to me like a LAN isolation transformer, but there is no Ethernet on this thing, so I'm not sure. It says RL, so I'm guessing maybe a relay of some form. We got an Actel FPGA, maybe. Some dip switches. Old school RAM. This is if I remember right, this would be called a SIM module, which I think stands for single inline memory module. These are from basically like the 1990 era. Everything now is like DDR, double data rate, 3, 4, 5, who knows what now. That's the old school RAM though. It looks just like a computer RAM, but it probably is, but it's hard to say. I don't need that thing. Those do make kind of cool keychains though. If you want to, don't mind huge keychains. I've done it with laptop memory. You can put a keyring on that thing and make you have a big keychain. And that looks like a real-time clock battery of some sort, probably a lithium cell of some sort. Primary cell. Another Actel job. And that looks like I'm looking at it upside down. Let's see what else we can find. This has some other stuff, some serial ports and VJ, some LEDs, resistor arrays maybe, an SMC, some kind of chip there. Let's take a look at this main processor. That looks to me like a Lattice logo. It says ISI on the corner there. MC68340AG16E maybe. I might pull that off and just see what's probably just a socket, just like a old laptops used to use things like this. The only time I haven't really seen it lately, but I've seen like the old Spark processors. They do things like that. Not Spark, Cyrex. They had like a socket, sort of like something like this. And that's some kind of like looks like a CPU. I might scavenge a few parts off here, but voltage regulator maybe be nice, but I don't know. It might be more trouble than it's worth. Oh, that thing's kind of cool. I might take that just to put in an art thing or something. That relay is kind of cool, but it looks like it's got like 8 leads on it. Kind of probably be a pain to unsolder it, so I don't think I'll bother. That looks sort of like a nice 10 ohm 3-watt resistor. I'll probably steal that and maybe these guys here. Those can be kind of handy sometimes. Other than that, this thing's probably just gonna be junk. These things look kind of cool, but I have no use for. UV proms I'll probably save. I can do something with those for art or whatever. If you look at it from the big zoomed out, it kind of looks like a city though. Each little part looks like a building, and then you got all the traces that look like little streets or something, which in a way, if you think about it, basically they are streets for electrons. You go in and out of these things and follow the traces, and vias would be like these little punch holes, and then that usually allows the trace to go either through to the other side of the board, or if it's newer, it's probably like a multi-layer board, so it could have like 5 layers and everything's all over, so you have no clue what's what, unless you put like an X-ray thing around, X-rayed the whole thing. But that's an old instrument circuit board, motherboard, whatever you want to call this thing.